as far as the language, I'd say it took me for a month or two. I was pretty lost. It was really hard. Like, I do my best to teach in lessons. I sort of memorize my little parts and try to improvise as much as possible. But my companion would sort of give me the thumbs up, and then I'd teach my little chunk of the lesson, and then he'd go and probably explain everything that I said wrong. However, the important part is that I was trying, and that everybody tries on their first time. It's important that you don't just let your companion do all the teaching, that you do your best to try, because otherwise you'll learn a lot slower. I'd say within 3 months I was understanding and I was able to communicate more or less, though I sounded very bad. And within 9 months was when I was pretty fluent. I'd say I was able to communicate really well and understand everything basically perfectly. And by the end of the mission, you're doing great. The language there, so Mexico Spanish is a lot different than other countries, especially European Spanish, but like Spain. But also within, something you'll notice once you spend some time there is within, like, there's sort of different divisions to Mexico as far as culture, sort of like North, Middle, and South Mexico. And then even among the states, there's a lot of cultural differences. So there's a lot of slang that's specific to Nuevo León or Coahuila, which is where Saltillo and Monterrey, they're the states they belong to. There's a lot of specific slang, and they have their own unique accents. And you'll meet somebody a lot of the time from another part of Mexico, like further south, and they'll be a lot harder to understand, or they'll just sound a lot different, and they'll use different slang words, and it's really interesting. When a lot of the times one word in one part of Mexico can mean something completely different in another. And or if you meet somebody from another part of Mexico also, they'll refer to foods that you've never heard of because they're specific to their parts of Mexico. And then it's even more so when you talk to people from other South American countries, or, well, I don't think I ever met anybody from Spain, but I'm assuming it would be a ton different. And I've listened to Spain's Spanish since my mission, and it's significantly different than Mexican Spanish. But it is really fun. I mean, as a missionary, you don't use it, or you shouldn't use it, but it's really fun learning the slang words in Mexico. You'll talk to everybody. So you'll end up learning them just because you talk to everybody. And it's pretty fun to learn it. Just don't use it until after your mission.